Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk about a concept that I've seen mentioned numerous times and that I truly believe is accurate, which is it seems like a lot of people are grieving over dating because a lot of us were conditioned and taught all this BS, all these lies about what to expect when it came to dating and relationships as adults. We were spoon-fed just all this unhelpful stuff that didn't turn out to be true. So a lot of us then have all these really unrealistic expectations as adults, and it affects our romantic life, and that leads to people being single for a while and then grieving over it and finding ways to try to cope with those emotions that they don't want to feel. If you ask me, I believe this is why you see all these radical movements popping up and why so many people are buying into them, like why there's so many incels that exist, why there are men who buy into the darker aspects of the red pill and MGTOW communities, why there are women who become radical feminists, which at that point they're basically buying into misandry and they're man-haters. So I believe all these things exist because a lot of us were spoon-fed lies about dating and relationships. So I want to talk about that in this video because you're seeing a lot of the consequences of it playing out nowadays. So this pretty much all stems from the media that we grew up consuming, like TV shows, movies, books, music, etc., and just watching our parents and other people's relationships while growing up. There's a lot of not so great examples out there of what dating and relationships are like, especially in the entertainment industry. And we all grew up watching movies and TV shows, right? We all did. So we were all conditioned by what we saw. And quite often, what you see on movies and TV shows are not at all accurate to reality. For instance, a great example I can throw out is how in movies and TV shows the nice guy ends up with a beautiful woman. All the men watching can probably understand why this doesn't quite hold up in truth, or in reality, should I say, because they usually depict the nice guy as like not being sexual at all. He's just this like normal dude who treats women well, which that is a good thing, so I'm not arguing against that, but he doesn't have like any edge to him, no mystery, no real like manliness or confidence, and somehow he's able to pull like beautiful women. That's something that doesn't really happen in real life, but a lot of men grew up with that stereotype, and that's probably why you have so many nice guys, because that's what we're shown in movies and TV shows. It was almost like a bad thing for a man to embrace his sexuality and to speak to it and to be honest and authentic, that because that kind of those qualities were more so shown in like the bad guys in TV shows and movies, right? The guy that's going to amount to nothing in life, but he's able to get women, so there's that. But actually, even in movies and TV shows, sometimes they'll depict the bad guy as not being able to get women, which that's not quite true in reality either. So we're just basically fed a bunch of BS that isn't accurate. And then people grow up and they struggle to date because of all the lies that they were taught. They think certain things will work, certain strategies or certain personality types or whatever, certain qualities, but then they find out that it just doesn't work in the way that they wanted it to or expected it to. And then that creates that grief, and then people have to cope with it. And after enough years of not having a lot of success, people get radicalized, and that's when they start buying into these ideas of hating the opposite sex and all men and all women are the same, and yay, now here we are having to deal with all this BS from the vocal minority of people who just are grieving over dating. So this is a really unfortunate thing in today's world, and I just want to make a video to discuss it for a bit because it explains why the world is the way that it is right now. And if I can maybe throw a few pointers in here, I'll do my best. But one of the problems that has been created by all these lies is we basically don't understand the opposite sex. Men don't understand women, women don't understand men. We just don't understand each other's psychology because of the media that we grew up consuming and the way that it portrayed the opposite sex in a way that wasn't quite accurate. Like we were told things that would work that don't really work in reality. So one thing I can say that pretty much across the board will help is just embracing your sexuality more, no longer viewing it as like this dark, bad side of you, because that's quite often the reason why people struggle with dating. I know this sounds crazy to some of you perhaps, but that, if I could boil dating down to like one thing that most people probably struggle with, it probably is sexuality. Most people, I've been told, they've been conditioned to hide this side of them, to think that it's a bad thing. But it's necessary if you want to connect with others, especially connecting with them on a deeper level. Like when someone is sexually attracted to you, oh my God, it's like one of the best things on the planet, right? Like almost everyone can speak to that, of course, provided you've experienced it. But it's incredible. So knowing that, you have to be in tune with that side of you if you want to be able to have a good romantic life. It's basically a requirement. This is why so many people get friend zoned. The friend zone only exists if you aren't in tune with your sexuality. Because if you are, you're not going to get friend zoned. You just aren't. Because the other person is going to know where you stand with them. They're going to know that you find them attractive and that you want to do naughty things with them in the bedroom. You can't get friend zoned in that scenario, because even if they aren't attracted to you and they say, hey, let's just be friends, you'll be like, no, like, why would I want to be your friend when I want to sleep with you? And they'll immediately know where you stand with them. So yeah, you're not friend zoned, and you can still be around that person, but they will always know your intentions and where you stand compared to them. So yeah, it's just, this is the main thing people need to work on. This is why I was kind of not making fun, but more so talking about why nice guys, the way they're portrayed in movies and TV shows, don't hold up in reality, because they don't have any sexuality to them in the way they're portrayed. So then men grow up, I even grew up believing this. Like I was a stereotypical nice guy growing up. I wasn't in tune with my sexuality. I thought it was bad to show that side of me to a woman. But it's necessary. It's not bad at all. But that was why earlier, younger me struggled with dating, because I didn't know that. I was buying into the movies and TV shows that portrayed nice guys as getting the women, but in reality, you don't, because you're not having that sexual edge to you and all the confidence and charm and authenticity and honesty that comes with it. You can't attract the people that you find interesting and intriguing if you aren't in tune with that side of you, because then they're just going to view you as like a friend or a sibling, because they're not going to realize that you are willing and wanting to do naughty things with them. So that's like pretty much the catch-all, if I could, for why so many people struggle with dating. But I've already made other videos talking about tips for dating and relationships, so be sure to check those out, because my whole intent with this video wasn't really to fix this problem, but more to just talk about it, to bring it out into the light, because it is something I realize affects a lot of people. And like I said earlier, it probably explains all these radicalized movements that you're seeing on both sides. So, excuse me. So it's just something I wanted to speak about. But anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to end the video here before I start repeating myself. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, the easiest way you can help me out is just to throw a like and a comment on the video for the algorithm. And I will see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!